fuck? Did that not work? Oh shit. Well, here I am, I guess. Hello, hello. What's up, motherfuckers? I guess that fucking thing didn't take then. This is supposed to play the trailer for this freaking movie. Alright, whatever. That's fine. What's up, motherfuckers? Chris Hollowicki, coming at you with a new review of a movie. I just saw Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark tonight. I had some thoughts about it. I'm going to share them with you, I suppose. I was going to play some of the trailer for people who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I guess the goddamn thing I set up didn't work properly. Still working out the kinks in these Streamlabs here, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this is not really like gonna be more of a hangout live stream. So, what up, SCS and Talking Donkey? But yeah, I think I'm just gonna start because this is gonna be more of me talking a lot. I'm just gonna jump into it and try to burn through it because I got some things to say. Basically, yeah. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a... Hello. I'm trying to figure out where my mic is. If these headphones are on, is the mic here? Or is it here? No, it's gotta be in the headphones. Can everyone hear me okay? How do I sound? Can everyone hear me okay? How do I sound? Alright, we're good. I wanted this to go smoothly. Alright, this is practice. Practice makes perfect, motherfuckers. Okay, so basically, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is based off of the book series of the same name. Let me take a look at this right here. Yeah, these books. I don't know if you guys grew up with these, but this book series is a huge part of my childhood. I at least had one of them. I think I had the one in the back right there, but I don't know what fucking happened to it. I think somebody stole it from me. But, yeah, it's a movie based off of these books. And, yeah, it was directed by Guillermo del Toro, which, if you're not familiar with him, he made Pan's Labyrinth. He made fucking Hellboy. He makes good shit, especially visually enticing type stuff. Very creepy shit. Both enticing and creepy, I would say. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the books, here's a picture right here of what the artwork from them looked like. So this movie had a lot to live up to in the creepy department, especially as a PG-13 film. And yeah, if you're looking at this stuff, it's creepy as fuck. I believe this book came out in 1981, or the series started in 1981, and yeah, I remember reading them when I was just a little guy. Yeah, how about we just jump into what I thought about the movie? Essentially, what I expected walking in was going to be because I didn't actually watch any of the trailers before I saw it. I just heard there was a movie adaptation about that, and I'm like, alright, how are they going to adapt that? Well, I guess we'll wait and see. But, so I didn't watch any of the trailers. I just went with Polly earlier tonight. And essentially what they did with it, instead of a bunch of stories like how they do in the movies like VHS or ABCs of Death or Tales from the Hood or Trick or Treat, which that form, or Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors, which that formula has worked for better or worse and all those things. They decided to instead make a like a PG-13 like horror story that somehow ties in the scary stories to tell in the dark from the books. And essentially what it is like, picture a really mediocre story about a little girl ghost, sort of like The Ring or Fear.com, or I don't know if it was a little girl ghost in Fear.com, but a formula that's been used at like probably like over 100 times right now since the early 2000s. So just like a really mediocre ghost story mixed with sort of Stranger Things, although it doesn't take place in the 80s. It's just like a group of kids on bikes again, using walkie-talkies and stuff. Which it's like, I feel like, oh man, this is making me feel so nostalgic for when I was watching Netflix a couple weeks ago. And, yeah, and then just tiny little sprinkles of elements of the scary stories to tell in the dark books. And I would say that the main focus of the movie, the good 90% of the film, is focused directly on this mediocre ghost story that we've kind of seen. You can predict what's going to happen from the beginning. You're just like, okay, I've seen this. They're going to the library and they're looking at old newspapers. They're visiting mental institutions to find out things about this ghost woman who's somehow writing scary stories in a magic book. I don't want to get too deep into spoilers. Nothing about this movie is going to really surprise you, though. It's not going to be... Your mind's not going to be blown. It's a pretty mediocre film, despite the fact that it has about like I think it's got like 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's being very well received. I'm kind of showing my cards here. Like, I liked the movie. I'm not that impressed with it. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. But let's talk about it some more. It was well acted. Everyone in it, good acting. Good acting. The cast was very likable. Even the bullies, everyone was fine with it. But having said that, when you stack it up against other films like It from last year, I think, was that It last year? I think It was last year, or it might have been 2 years ago. But the cast of It and the cast of Stranger Things, and the fact that they had an R rating and the kids were allowed to swear, and it made it sort of kind of a little bit more realistic with the kids' dialogue. This is a PG-13 movie, so that edge was kind of taken off. Kind of took away a little bit of it. Then again, the kids in this movie live in a time that's 20 years outside, almost 20 years outside of the mid-80s, so it's not that big a deal. It wasn't like, I was actually like, walking in, it got a little intense at the beginning of the movie. I'm like, I wonder if this is rated R. But, yeah, it becomes pretty apparent it's a PG-13 flick. Yeah, but yeah, it just, after I've seen It 1 and that kid ensemble and 3 seasons of Stranger Things, this one needed to really bring a little bit more to the table to impress me. But the acting was good. Everyone in it was fine. It was good. The script and the story were very mediocre. As I said before, it's the same formula we've seen in 100 other PG-13 ghost stories. And again, I would have preferred an anthology film. Different cast, and let's see how many of those, how many of those scary stories to tell in dark you could adapt and fit in maybe a 90-minute film. I think this movie was almost 2 hours. It didn't need to be 2 hours. Could have had a nice 90-minute film with a bunch of different horror shorts mashed together, just adapting scary stories. But I don't know. I don't know if that would have worked either. But this is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie that I would say is about 8% actual scary stories to tell in the dark content. It's just a lot of little nods and references. And it's just, I don't know. It just seems like they're cashing in on the name, and they just sprinkle in a tiny bit of the source material. But alright, what's next? Oh, okay. Some of the, and see, this is the thing. If we look at let's see here. See, the problem with adapting these books is the drawings are so fucking creepy that it'd be really hard, even for Guillermo del Toro, apparently, to recreate the way that the images in the book would really make you feel. So a lot of it ends up, I don't know, it comes up short when compared to the drawings, which is a problem I predicted when they first announced this film. They kind of, they go through the motions and, like, no real spoilers here, but the main character gets away, and they kind of set up a sequel, but they set up something for a sequel, but I don't know if they made a sequel to what they set up at the very end of this movie. I don't know how it would be any way related to Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, because they kind of wrap everything up. I don't want to say any spoilers, so I gotta be careful. I would say the horror sequences are kind of poorly written. There's a lot of standing there while the spooky stuff happens in front of them, like waiting to die. It's like nobody acts like a person. Which I mean, it may be a little harsh me saying that, but there were some times where I'm just like, okay, there's no suspense here because nobody's acting like a human. Not entirely. There's definitely a lot. I definitely got a number of jump scares out of me. And they weren't cheap jump scares either. There's some scary stuff in here. This is a Guillermo del Toro movie. I don't want to play or hate on it too hard. Yeah, it's just a lot of the characters don't really do anything to defend themselves. Overall, I would say that I would give this maybe a C plus B minus, because it's not bad. It's just, if you're a fan of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books, I mean, you'd be like, oh yeah, I see what they're doing there. Oh yeah, that's a scarecrow, I recognize that. Oh, there's the pale lady, I recognize that. But pretty much that's it. And you're like, oh, someone mentions the big toe. Oh, I remember that story too. I remember that picture. Doesn't translate onto the screen, and they don't even attempt to be honest. Next thing I want to go over, this is gonna be kind of spoiler territory because they're gonna show you guys what they actually adapted and how they did it for the most part. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. As I said, look at this art real quick. That's fucking creepy. And it looks R-rated. Even though this is a book made for children that I read when I was like 7 to 10 years old. That's pretty brutal. It's very gory. When you got a PG-13 movie, it's gonna be hard to do this. Make stuff this. Well, you know what? Remember, that's not even true. I mean, this is my favorite right here. You see where their mouse is? This is one of my favorite images from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, is a chick in the center. And I think that a PG-13 movie could recreate something this much. It's just that they didn't. I'll show you that example in just a bit. Oh, and look at this. I would love to see a fucking movie where this happened. This, look at how fucking crazy this is. And this is actually a very, funny, I think this story, I remember the story in the book. It has a twist funny ending to it or something. And I would love to see this, what we're seeing here on screen, adapted into a fucking film. Okay, alright, if you watch the trailers, you've seen the adaptation of this story right here. It's the red spot story about spiders bursting out of a boil on someone's cheek. Yeah, this is pretty fucking horrifying right here. Not really nice to look at. And, I mean, this is what it looked like in the movie. I mean, that's how it started out. You know what? This is actually a horrible execution of it because fucking inexplicably, as soon as the thing bursts and the spiders start coming out of her face, the lights in the bathroom shut off. So you could see CGI spiders. They turn it dark in the room so you can't see shit. And so it's not even a tiny bit as creepy as the drawing in the book. Like, this is about how much you see, and then you see a couple CGI spiders, and it's not graphic whatsoever, and I don't think you necessarily need to be super graphic or gory, but they could have executed something like this in a PG-13 way that wasn't as lame as what it was. I mean, Guillermo del Toro was fucking doing this. Like, I don't know how he would have allowed that to happen. I mean, they shut the lights off. The Big Toe. They cover this one. And yeah, this is just like an awesome piece of art right here. And they cut, it's an awesome picture. That's something I remember from when I was little. Boy was digging at the edge of the garden when he saw a big toe. He tried to pick it up, but it was stuck to something. So he gave it a good hard jerk. And yeah, it's a story about a little boy finding a toe with a hoe. You see that hoe he's holding? Found a toe, and then his parents decided to make soup out of it. And that was actually that might have been one of the better ones, but it didn't have anything to do with this picture. And the story was changed a great deal. Harold. This is probably one of the best adaptations of anything from the books, if you look at it right here. That is pretty fucking spot on. They changed him a little bit. I kind of like the way they did it. I don't remember the actual story of Harold. Does it say here? I think it says it partially. When it got hot in the valley... Sorry, the camera's in the way of my screen. Thomas and Alfred drove the crows in the valley again. Right, enough. Yeah, it's not the whole story. See, these are multiple page stories. They could have expanded it a little more. Pale Lady. You see the movie? Here we go. This is the book. It's a dream. They changed the names around a little bit. See, they do a mix where they actually do take some stuff in the books. They use it for names of the characters, shit like that. And there are a couple nods, but it's like they're almost like Easter eggs. You have to like search them. What part of this movie is actually even sort of related to scary stories to tell in the dark? Look at that image, though. Scary. And this is the movie version. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Where the fuck is everyone? This is like my prime time. When I start streams at this time of day, there's usually at least like more than one person here. I hope this... Well, it doesn't matter. This is something I'm... Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. God damn it. Fucking shit. There's more. This is... See, this... Alright. This brings me to, I think that the biggest fail of the movie, really. This is my favorite pictures and my favorite picture in the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. In all of them, I'm pretty sure in all of them, this is my favorite image. I think this is the creepiest. It's the most iconic to me. It's the one I remember the most. Do you see how he does the fucking strands of hair? The way he draws that? Like, look at that shit. Look at that. So fucked up. And, this is, there's another image of it. It's fucking creepy as fuck. And this is what we get in the movie. It's not as good. It's not as good, homie. But yeah. So yeah, again, C+, B-, kind of, it's just a mediocre PG-13 horror movie. It's got some cool stuff to it. I can't believe that I'm talking so much shit about a Guillermo del Toro movie. I fucking love that guy. I still haven't watched Shape of Water, but Hellboy 1 and 2 are the shit. Pacific Rim, I guess, was fine. Maybe he's just fucking losing it. I don't know. But yeah, C+, B- on Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which is a really fucking long name. You're back, and I'm wrapping up. You should rewind the video right now, because I'm spent. This is going to be a shorter stream anyway. Maybe I'll jump on, do some gaming in a little bit. But I don't want to drag this review out too long. Like, I've said what I need to say, and I thank you all for joining me. Until next time, stay metal. Hail Satan. Hit that bong for notifications. And if you're a real fan, you'll sit around until this countdown is over. Talking Donkey. I have no updates on Tank Girl. You could rewind it. I can't redo it because it was already a mess to begin with, bro. I fumbled and stumbled and froze so many times. I need to practice at doing this more. You could hear me, right? Boost! 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 Yeah, if you jump on my Instagram, Butters is looking so cute with his new shave. I'm taking him to the oncologist on Thursday to figure out what we're going to do and what exactly is wrong with him. I'm optimistic. Seems like he's doing very well. answer questions until this countdown ends. And then the stream is over! Where the fuck is everybody tonight? It's almost 5 in the morning. Where's Chris? Where's everybody? I fucking put out the call. There's usually like 4 or 5 people in my stream. I actually did something cool today. Anyone who stumbles upon this later and is new to the channel, again, like, when am I visiting England? Probably never. I don't know if they'll give me a passport. I don't know if I'm allowed to get a passport. 10 seconds. No, these aren't even seconds. I think each of them are 3 seconds. We're at the end of the clock. New England. Oh. I don't know. Sometimes I just oh shit.